Hello students, good evening. Welcome back to NEET Due JN classes. In the last lecture we were discussing about the earthworm concept of the earthworm, and we completed the digestive system and as well as the circulatory system, respiratory system and finally excretory system. And today we are going to complete the earthworm concept, that nervous system and as well as the reproductive system. And later we can go for the next concept, which is a cockroach. First, nervous system. It's very simple. In your according to NCERT textbook, they have given the concept is very simple. They have given, so simply I will complete this. So remember the nervous system in the earthworm. Nervous system. Yeah. What is this nervous system here? You remember here. The main thing that you have to remember is the earthworm body. The earthworm body is having this. You know that this is the wall. What is the wall? Means body wall. This is the body wall of the earthworm. This is the anterior opening mouth, and in this manner this is the first segment, second segment, first segment, second segment, third segment, fourth, fifth and sixth segment, and continuing. And this is, here there is a presence of a segment like structure but not a segment, that is called a prostomium. And later you having the alimentary canal here. Yes, when you go for the alimentary canal, this is the first segment, second segment, third segment, fourth segment. Yes, fourth segment. And in the fourth segment you are going to see the part which is known as the pharynx. Yes, the pharynx part is present, means which is saying that here mouth is leading to the buccal cavity. All this is the buccal cavity. 1, 2, 3 segments, there is a presence of buccal cavity is present like this. 1, 2, 3 segments, buccal cavity is present. Now this is the fourth segment. In the fourth segment there is a presence of the pharynx. Yes, this is the pharynx. The pharynx is present like this. It is the pharynx. Yeah, fine. This pharynx part is unclosed. You know, this is the ventral surface of the earthworm and it is the dorsal surface of the earthworm. Ventral and dorsal surface. Now this pharynx is having the ring like this. This is the ring. And here there is a presence of cerebral ganglion. Here there is a presence of cerebral ganglion. Yes, this is called cerebral ganglion, which is acting as brain. The cerebral ganglion which is acting as brain. If you observe carefully, the cerebral ganglion is present in the dorsal surface. The cerebral ganglion is present in the dorsal surface, and this is the ring which is known as the nerve ring, and this nerve ring is unclosing the pharynx. The nerve ring is unclosing the pharynx. In case of cockroach, the nerve ring is present and that nerve ring is unclosing the esophagus, means circling. Here the nerve ring is circling the pharynx, and in case of cockroach, the nerve ring is circling the esophagus. That is the difference between the nervous system in the earthworm and nervous system in the cockroach. And now these cerebral ganglia which is acting as brain present in the dorsal surface, and this nerve ring is formed by, how it is formed, sir? It is formed by, here there is a presence of ventrally, there is a presence of a nerve cord like this. The nerve cord is present. This is the nerve cord. This is the nerve cord number 1 and nerve cord number 2. Both the nerve cord contains a ganglia. Segment wisely ganglia is present. And now this is the nerve cord, and here there is both of these are fused by the ganglion. And this is the nerve cord, both are fused by the ganglion. Nerve cord, both are fused by ganglion. Nerve cord, both are fused by ganglion. Nerve cord, both are fused by the ganglion. Yes, if you observe that this is the nerve cord, how many nerve cords are present? 2 nerve cords are present. So it is pair. 2 nerve cords are present, and these 2 nerve cords are, so 2 means it is double, we can say double nerve cords, and they are located in the ventral surface. Ventral surface it is present, and it contains segment wisely arranged ganglion. Segment wise means in every segment the ganglion is present. So that is called segmental arrangement of the ganglia. So double ventral nerve cord, which is telling that nerve cords are 2 and it is located in the ventral surface. And this nerve cord here, this nerve cord is bifurcated, and this nerve cord is bifurcated. Bifurcated means splitted. And this is splitting. After splitting, they are making the circle around the, which part of the alimentary canal, means around the pharynx they are making the ring. So the ring is surrounding the pharynx, and these nerves are fusing with the ganglion which is present in the dorsal surface, which is acting as brain and controlling the muscular movements of the earthworm, and as well as the sensory functions, etc. and etc. It is controlling. The only thing you have to remember is where the nerve cord is located: ventrally, double ventral, joined by ganglion, and it contains a lot of lateral nerves. Like this, there is a presence of so many number of lateral nerves will be present. All these nerves are supplying the signals to all the body parts. Apart from this, nothing they have given. The only point that you have to remember is the ring is unclosing the pharynx, and after unclosing the pharynx, it is joined with the brain which is located in the dorsal surface. Nothing more than that. And next, the earthworm does not contain eyes. In earthworm, eyes are absent. So it contains a sensory receptors. It contains some sensory receptors which are responsible to identify the ground vibrations. Ground vibrations, and along with that, it also contains chemical receptors. So because of that only, to taste the why? Because it is eating the dead and decaying leaves, nothing but the soil. To taste the soil, it contains receptors, so it is called chemoreceptors. Receptors are receiving. What they are receiving? They are receiving the chemicals. They are receiving the signals of chemical. Yes, whether the soil chemical is good or bad. Chemoreceptors. So there is a presence. Touch receptors are present, means which are responsible for detecting the ground vibrations, and as well as the chemoreceptors are present, which are responsible for identify the taste of the soil while they are swallowing it. So that is the difference. Eyes are absent in the earthworm, and most of the sense organs are present in the anterior part of the earthworm. And you know, this is the prostomium. As of I told that its function is sensory in function. Maybe it is having these receptors. Means most of the sensory receptors are present in the anterior part of the earthworm. This is about the nervous system in earthworm. Apart from that, nothing is there according to your NCERT textbook. Actually, it is having the autonomous nervous system, central nervous system, all those, but it's not, we don't need to discuss about that. Now, after that, after nervous system, you go for the reproductive system. Yes, reproductive system. Okay, fine. First of all, this earthworm is 1 minute. Earthworm is a hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite, which is saying that bisexual organism, which is a bisexual organism. 1 minute, I think the power is lost. Inverter is running in high load. 1 minute, please, let me check.